everyone, welcome back to the channel. It has been a little while. I'm not sure if I'll have put any videos out before this, so if I have, hey, look at me, progress. 2 videos in 1 month. If not, hey, welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute. Yeah, I have been proper reading slumpy this year. Pretty much all year so far, all 4 months of it already. And yeah, with reading slump comes video slumps. Yeah, it's just how it's been, guys. It's just how it's been. I've kind of just been excuse me. I've kind of just been going with it. I've been trying not to like force myself too much. And every time I think I'm slowly making my way out of it, it all just falls apart again. So who knows? This is either going to do really well for me, or everything's about to fall apart again and you guys will never see this content and I don't have to worry about it. Hey! But yeah, I have this thing when I'm reading slumping, I start a lot of books. I just don't finish them. So I'm gonna set myself not a challenge, because that's setting myself up for defeat, but I want to see how much books I can finish in the next 2 weeks. So it's the 1st of May. It's Monday evening. I was working today. I'm working the next 2 days. Then I've definitely got Thursday, Friday off, so that's the 4th and the 5th off. I might be working the 6th and 7th. I might not be. It all depends. I've had to change some shifts about and we're still waiting to see if someone else is going to cover that weekend or not. If I don't have to work the weekend, I'm going to have something like 11 days off, because I'm off the week beginning the 8th of May. If I do have to work it, then I'm basically away to work another 2 days, which will be a conclusion of a 10-day week. I'll have 2 days off, work the weekend, and then have 7 days off. So, you know, plenty of reading time, in theory. Yeah, that's it. So this is basically going to be a vlog of the next 2 weeks, seeing how well I got on with my reading. And I figure for this introduction, I will tell you, I'm not going to go into detail and I'm not going to read the blurb because we will be here forever, but I'm just going to show you the books that I've got. This pile here, you can't see all of it, but there's 9 books in this pile. So yeah, I'm in the middle of 9 different books, which is, like, I normally have like 3 or 4 at most. This is a problem, guys. I need an intervention. This is me giving myself an intervention, I think. Hey folks, editing Amy here. In my original clip here, I proceeded to then spend another 20 plus minutes telling you guys about all, was it 10, 11 books that I'm in the process of reading? So to save you guys the trouble of watching an excessively long video, I'm just going to delete all of that and post a picture here. These, in theory, above my hand now, there is a picture of all the books that I started off reading this vlog. How well did I do, I wonder? Spoiler alert, not very. I thought I'd do a wee check-in. It's now Friday. I started this vlog on Monday. I've not done a huge amount of reading, but I kind of predicted that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were the tail end of a 10-day week. I knew I wasn't going to do a huge amount of reading. It's just I kind of knew that was going to happen. But I'm now on my 2nd day off. I didn't do a huge amount of reading yesterday. I kind of spent my day I went for a walk and I spent a huge amount of time playing Final Fantasy VIII, because that's what my brain needs to unwind. Playing a game that I have completed I don't know how many times. That's you do what you gotta do, okay? That said, I have made some progress. Whilst out walking, I have been listening to my audiobook. I have finished Gilded by Marissa Mayer. I really enjoyed it. I kind of want to go straight into the second one, but I'm being good, I'm being restrained. And what I've done is Shaky, which was one of the books that I have started physically. I have now downloaded that. I've got Audible credits available. Excuse me. So I just downloaded Shaky and I've started listening to that one. So I'm about half an hour to an hour into that. The narration is really good. I'm really enjoying the characters in it, and yeah, I think IKEA Store is going to absolutely break my heart, and I am rooting for that girl. I am rooting so hard for her. I don't think I don't think it'll take me very long to finish this one. I can kind of I can feel myself going like, where are my listening opportunities? What can I do that will give me listening opportunities? Um, so yeah, honestly, I'm continuing with Final Fantasy VIII today, but I'll probably put it on in the background because Final Fantasy VIII was before they had voice actors. It was the last game Final Fantasy, I think. I think it was the last game they produced without voice actors. Um, so I can read all the dialogue, but just continue listening to my audiobook. Excellent. Um, I've what other progress have I made? I have read another 50 to 60 pages of Murder Your Employer. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not massively far into it, but I'm recommending it. It's brilliant. Um, it's so funny. The humor is it's really wry and just you want to like get your teeth into this. So I've been reading that sort of like in the evenings. Um, Another friend is currently listening to it. She's saying the audio version is really, really good. It's sort of like split into two narrators. One of whom is Neil Patrick Harris, so I mean you can't really go wrong with Neil Patrick Harris as narrator, can you? Um, and then I've got a second friend who bought this at the same time. All three of us sort of like bought it on the same day. She's already finished it. She said it's like top notch brilliant, and I really trust her opinion. So yeah, I'm excited to continue this one. I think it's safe to say this one I will have finished by the end of this vlog. Um, yeah, I think like reading updates. That's all I've got, except that I have a confession. My latest subscription book from Mr. Beast came in this morning, and I might have already started it. So I'm going to preface this with I only started reading it because Mr. Beast, it's a personalized subscription, okay? They pick out, based on like a survey that I did, a questionnaire that I filled out, they pick out books that they think I'm going to enjoy reading. This is not a book I would normally pick up. This is about a woman who goes back to Orkney. She's 30, she's gone back to Orkney, having, I think, by sounds of it, she's a recovering addict. And she's kind of gone back home to Orkney to, I think it's in that like limbo phase of like, she's dragging herself out of rock bottom. She's not quite rock bottom anymore, but she's still building herself back up. And she kind of doesn't really have anything left, so she's gone back home to Orkney. So it's her journey in recovery, and I think there's a lot of like wildlife watching and things. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have picked this book up myself, which is the point of the subscription. So I started reading a chapter or two to see how I would get on with it, to see what it's like. It's also published by Canongate, who, I mean, nothing against Canongate. I've got a friend who works there. They're absolutely brilliant. But they don't necessarily produce the books that I gravitate towards. They're definitely more on the literary side, where I'm more on the fun turn my brain off side. that's how it goes. But yeah, enjoying it so far. So far, we've knocked one off of my reading list and added one, so we're still at net zero. We're still at like 10, 11 books in progress, so who knows? I think I'll consider it a success if by the end of this vlog I've finished, I'm net -1. Like, I'm one less in progress. That'll be my success. But yeah, anyway, my arm's getting tired because I couldn't be bothered setting up a stand or anything, so I'm gonna leave you there, play some more Final Fantasy VIII, and I'll check in again later. Bye bye. Hey, time for another update. It's Monday, I think. It's Monday? Yeah, it's been a week since I started this vlog. I have totally made progress. Not as much as I might have, say, like this time last year, but I have definitely made progress. As I think when I last left you, I just got in the outrun. Rather than I started reading it, and rather than continue to read it, I started listening to it. I had spare Audible credits left, so I just downloaded it on Audible, and I'm a little over halfway. It's not a cheery book. It's definitely not a book I would have picked for myself. she's not an author I'm going to run towards. I'm not massively keen to pick more up from her. I'm really struggling to say I'm enjoying this book, but I don't really think I should be. I feel like certain Mr. B's have given it to me because it's incorporating the personal and nature, which is kind of what I'm here for. What I'd say is it's a lot more on the personal than the nature. She's moved back to Orkney and is working for the RSPB. But if she was doing something else, if she was doing a job that wasn't nature related, honestly, the narrative wouldn't change. It's just by the by. It's a lot more focus on her overcoming addiction and her journey and recovery through sobriety. Incredibly well written. Ultimately, I'm probably not going to give this book a star rating because it feels like I would be rating this woman's life and her recovery. Like, massive respect for putting this all on paper. I'm just not the target audience for it. So yeah, it's a really good book and I will definitely finish it, but it's just not me. It's not what I read. I read for escapism. This is not escapism. But what else have I done? I am now, can you see that? Halfway through Murder Your Employer. So much. For a book focused on murder, this one is so much cheerier. Two other friends have now read it. They have both finished. They both say it pretty much stays consistently brilliant throughout. I'm now kind of getting to the point where he's kind of graduated and now has to go and perform his thesis. He gets to go potentially do the murder, so I'm very, very excited. Honestly, the best way to describe this book is it's Hogwarts for adults. Cliff Iverson, who's kind of like the main character you're following, he's easily in his 30s. So, for all of us out there, if you've not had your Hogwarts letter, is there anyone you want to murder? McMaster's could be your Hogwarts, because it is basically Hogwarts, but with murder. I mean, they go to classes and everything, and yeah. It's so good, it is so brilliant. Also, fun fact, found out that it has been written by the same guy that wrote the Pina Colada song. So the kind of humour and wit that you get in the Pina Colada song, you find in this book. It's absolutely brilliant. But anyway, why else did I choose to give you an update at this time? You can definitely tell I have not bothered with like a stand or anything from my phone, so I'm just going to be switching as my arms get tired. But more importantly, make sure my address is not visible. I have book mail! This is a book I pre-ordered back in November. It is book 5. It's The Grandmaster of Cultivation, volume 5. This is book 5 of 5. It's a chunky. It is a lot more chunky than the previous ones. So you know how this 2 weeks vlog was all about me finishing books? Well, I've started at least 2 by the end of it. Terrible. I'm just getting the cling wrap off. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So it comes with, let's just kind of peel this off. It comes with a whole bunch of extras. So there's a little notebook. I mean, is that not just the prettiest? It's so fucking pretty. I absolutely adore all the artwork that comes with this. I won't show you everything because there's a lot. It actually comes with quite a bit. But we get a double-sided bookmark that's super shiny. Some stickers! Look at that little winding. Look how cute that is. You get photo cards that have been like all of the postcards that have been all of the covers. And look at the rabbits! So cute! So yeah, I'm now torn. Do I continue with McMaster's or do I start volume 5? and then we're going to start volume 5. So yeah, I'll check in again later and let you know how much of this one I've read. See? Hey folks, so I thought I'd give another update. It is Wednesday the 10th of May, so we're now on the 10th day of this vlog. Given that I have finished one book and started another 2, you guys are probably starting to realise why I've just not put out as much content this year. Yeah. Believe it or not, this last week or so is like the most I've read in a while. But yeah, anyway, how am I getting on? I am still concentrating on just the 2 books right now. I did start Grandmaster. Of course I did. We all knew I was going to. It was never a question. I finished like the first chapter, but the first chapter is 138 pages. So we have just gotten past Guanyin Temple. Anyone who's familiar, you know exactly what scenes I've just witnessed. Hands down the best confession scene ever. Although, hot take, I think I preferred the execution in the manga. I think. I don't know. I'm going to have to reread it. Either way, it was brilliant and we love it. So now I've got 1 chapter of main story content left, which is kind of just sort of like the wrapping up. And we will learn where the origin of a certain phrase comes from. If you are familiar with the Untamed or Madouzushi fandom, you know what phrase I'm talking about. If not, join the fandom and find out. Other update is I am still continuing with Murder Your Employer. I am this far into it. So I'm now on page 268. Yay! I'm definitely making really good progress. I'm really happy with, like, I've actually been reading lately, which is nice. In terms of the story, it's still just as amazing. I'm still really enjoying it. If it wasn't for Madouzushi, I would have finished this by now. So my goal for the rest of this vlog is to finish these 2 books. That's the goal so far. But right now, yeah, our 3 main characters have technically graduated and are now working on their master's thesis. It's really interesting. So obviously, like, we know who the murderer is. It's our main characters, it's our protagonists. And they're very much protagonists. They're not antagonists. They're yeah. We know who the targets are. So we're now following them and seeing this thesis and their methods slowly unfold and figuring out like just how they're going to do it. It is an absolute fascinating read, so I cannot recommend it highly enough again. Yeah, so I will check in at least once or twice more before I finish this vlog. And yeah, anyway, back to reading. Bye-bye. Hey, so trying to be brave and filming outside because it is way too nice to be sitting inside today. I think we're supposed to reach like 20 degrees in Inverness, which that is like this is a summer. I'm just saying it, we're in summer. It will not last, so we take advantage while we can. But yeah, reading updates. I was down visiting a couple of friends just over the last couple of days, so I had a lot of listening time in the car. I've finished the Outrun. Guys, I'm not going to say too much more about it. It was not a book for me. 4 issues I've already explained in previous updates. All I can really say much more about it is that I felt towards the end it was getting a bit repetitive. I felt like the author was trying to finish but didn't quite know how to finish. At one point she started talking about renewal energy on Orkney, and I didn't understand how that fit into everything else with the book. She was definitely like trying to draw some metaphors and like some parallels, but they just didn't quite hit. So yeah, because of the personal nature of the book, I'm not going to give it a star rating. I'm not when someone has poured their heart and soul, especially into a book, especially about such a sensitive subject, I'm not going to give them a rating. I'm not going to mark them out of 10 or whatever. Yeah, objectively speaking, I think it probably was a very good book, but it really just wasn't the book for me, and when I get the email from Mr. B's asking for feedback on my latest selection, I will be explaining it's a very good book, but please give me something a bit more lighthearted next time, and with a bit more of a focus on nature rather than the serious personal themes. But yeah, after that I went back to listening to Kai, so I'm now about 5 hours into that and I'm really enjoying it. I can understand why it's had so much praise. I think, like, based on the cover, I just kind of assumed it was sort of like an African mythology retelling. I think it's more likely to be sort of like Indian, is that South Asian? That sort of culture retelling. Oh, that did not sound great, did it? But yeah, absolutely, really, absolutely loving it, really enjoying it. We'll be looking for more opportunities to be listening to more of that. I've not made any more progress on Murder Your Employer, just because I didn't take the book down south with me, and yeah, I just haven't picked it up again. Probably tomorrow when I'm recovering with my hangover, because it's Eurovision tonight, guys. So I'm currently sitting in the garden reading, but yeah, later on tonight there will be no reading done. There will be lots of drinking, lots of listening to Eurovision, and then lots of reading tomorrow as I recover, potentially, unless I'm too hungover. But I have read a bit more of Modauzushi. I am now this far. I'm a little over 300 pages. I'm well and truly into the extras. MXTX can't write a comfortable spicy scene, and that's what I've discovered. She likes her really uncomfortable spicy scenes. Yeah, I'm finding of the extras, the scenes I'm enjoying more are the more tame, generic scenes. But overall, still absolutely loving it, because of course I am. And yeah, that's all the updates I've got for you. I have a new plant. Can you see her? This is Barbara. She's a blackcurrant. And was chatting with friends, being like, no, I'm not having any more. I'm not introducing any more plants. I'm not buying any more plants. This is the year of try and keep plants alive in the garden, because I think I lost half of them last year. You can sort of like just see, I don't have a lot of plants, but yeah, half of them died last year. And in the process of that, I managed to steal blackcurrant bridge from a friend, so yay, go me. Yeah, I'll update. I think there'll be one more update. I want to possibly edit this vlog tomorrow afternoon, maybe Monday morning, so I'll give you one last sort of like wrapping up update, and then maybe you'll actually see this content. Who knows? In the meantime, enjoy the sun. Bye bye. So I'm starting to edit the video and I realized I didn't wrap this vlog up. Yay, go me! That's a really clever thing to do. So I think when I last clip I filmed, I was in the garden being super brave. I then spent long enough out in the garden that I actually finished the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation Volume 5. I've given it 5 stars. I absolutely love it. I think you guys have picked up that I think you guys have picked up by now that I am a pretty big fan of the series, so you know, the 5 stars was inevitable. Thankfully, there wasn't too much more uncomfortable spicy scenes after that, and we got to really focus on sort of like, there's a few scenes that was life after the series. We got to go on a few night hunts, with ducklings and with just Ayuan, which was just absolutely life itself. I absolutely adored that. Yeah, just guys, if I've not managed to convince you by now to go out and read Grandmaster, like, I don't think I ever will I? Just go and read it. It's so good. I've not read much more of anything since then, just because Saturday was Eurovision, which meant that Sunday, to be fair, I actually wasn't hungover, which was unexpected. Like, if there was going to be a day where I was hungover, it should have been on Sunday. But my friend and I were pretty convinced that in the morning I probably wouldn't have passed a breathalyzer test, so I just stayed at hers for most of the day. We've been watching 10 Miles of Peach Blossom, which is a Chinese drama. It's called Eternal Love on Netflix, and it's so ridiculous. Yeah. I think I watched something like 18 episodes that day. yesterday, so you know. But yeah, that is us. That is a reading vlog. So it is Monday 15th of May. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Tomorrow morning I will kick off a new vlog, and yeah, I've quite enjoyed doing these wee updates and sort of like chatting to you guys this way. So we're gonna try. Fingers crossed. No promises, because if you see my channel and my upload schedule, you know there's no promises of regularity anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna try for sort of like twice monthly, fortnightly vlogs. Basically, you know, one has a vlog for one half of the month, vlog for the second half, and see how we go there. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed making it, and I will, fingers crossed, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.